Hello! Welcome to episode 67 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to just make people subscribe to this podcast, Steven. I'm not gonna fail. I'm not failing this week.
No requirement of a time machine this week.
Nope. We nailed it this week because I wrote it down and I read the thing that I actually wrote. Just like, Steven, every week I tell myself, I'm like, you know what you have to do? You have a YouTube channel, you have a podcast, you need people to subscribe to it. You just have to say it right away. You have to get it out there, get people subscriing. Hit that button, smash the button, do the stuff like with the button, do whatever sexy way you want to punch that button. I don't care, but just please subscribe to our podcast. But I forget, Steven, every single week except for this time. I literally was like, no shenanigans, just tell people to subscribe because we need it. But anyway,
we need these subscribers because then we can monetize, and then we just progressively make more and more. And then
this is a podcast in which all we do is talk about getting you to subscribe to the podcast. That's what we do. We are here to get subscribers. We have no other content, except I'm kidding. Don't leave us.
It's a podcast. It's a podcast for more podcasts. You must.
It's podcasts all the way down. You subscribe and you keep getting more podcasts about podcasting. No,
it's just called Two Podcasts.
No, but every week Steve and I get together and we do our best to just take all of our issues, throw them away in the garbage. We just very easily sweep them up, sweep them aside, get them. Sometimes things get in the way and we fail. We fail, Steven. We fail some weeks. Not this week. We'll see how we did this week, but we try to make comic books. Most recently, we finished a semi-autobiographical time travel graphic novel musical, and we freaking nailed it. Steven, most successful thing I've ever done in my life was be your friend and have a great son. Other than that, we made a book, and it's pretty sweet, and people seem to like it.
And it's doing great. It's still chugging along, and they should be shipping out super soon.
Yeah, they told me, so when I shipped off for the actual big whole shebang, big print, of hundreds of books that we're going to be getting, they said that it should be here around the 16th of December, which means soon after that, we're just going to send them off to all the people in all the world, and I can't wait.
And I didn't tell you yet, but the diamond sleeves are already in too. So I already have the boxing. I remember how they were supposed to be on back order until the 6th, and then they would do production and send them. I have them. So yeah,
that's so good, dude. So
the boxes are here. So now I just got to figure out the label situation and how I'm going to do that.
But anyway, so aside from Play It Again, which has been going phenomenally, we've been working on a new comic book called Deathless, which is a fun, magical, coming of age, finding yourself, kind of young adult independent story, and featuring gargoyles and magic and metal music and mayhem and all kinds of fun, cool killer bears and stuff. So, Steven, what did you want to get done this week?
I think I was really hopeful in getting a bunch of pages done. Yeah. I can't remember what the total was, but I did finish. And I think last week when we were filming, page 2 had only, I think, the angel.
Right.
It didn't have anything else yet. So I finished page 2 and then I did all of page 3. So I basically did a full page and a half, which is pretty good. I think it's a fuckess though. I don't think it's a full.
I don't know, dude. Okay, I'm gonna give you a total success. I know you wanted to call it a fuckess because why wouldn't we? But the truth is, the pages and I'm sure I've already shown them, but I'll show them again. The pages Steven's worked on recently have been some of the most beautiful work he's ever done. And he's Steven, you've obviously taken hours and hours and hours of your life to make this happen, because and it shows in the way a movie production has to throw money at explosions. It's all on the screen. It's all on that page. You can see all of your time in those lines for sure, and they're looking fine on the dime. I love it so much, and I gotta rhyme.
With Play It Again, I would say the average page time was about 4 hours.
Wow.
But with this, especially, I think page 1 was relatively wasn't too bad, but page 2 and 3, I think they were about 8 or 9 hours each. So It was a lot of time in it on that.
Yeah, I feel like you need to add 3 hours, Steven. Let's just pump.
It's just straight up movie movie film clips. It's full 3D rendered.
Yeah, I need 27 frames a second for each page.
Andy, I animated page 4. What?
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say, Steven, what I need from you is to animate each page. It's just have to straight up. No, dude, but I think those pages look beautiful. Anyone who sees it right now, we could throw lettering on those pages and sell a black and white comic book like nobody's business. We could realistically make that happen, and people would flip out and still think it's beautiful and amazing. I do think, I have full confidence in it as it is, but I do think that once we add color to it, it's gonna blow people's minds. I think it's gonna be the most beautiful.
it's those types of lines or those inks where you can do a lot of color. There's not a lot, like there's obviously there in some of the sections there's a lot of black, but like there's not a lot of cross hatching or anything. So there's a lot of open white that can easily be filled with shading. Like I noticed that we play it again, it was actually kind of difficult to shade it sometimes because of all the pencil lines and stuff. But yeah, like these ones are like, especially like the glowing rocks and all those different things that are going on those panels.
Yeah.
But I got a pretty good compliment on the, I forget which actually joined like 4 or 5 new Facebook groups just trying to spread. And it was like one of the manga comic ones. And someone said like, and this was your idea, so it's great that you told us to include this in this, but they said you can totally tell it's already a statue just because the hand's still attached to the sword and this thing's like moving. Like, so I've conveyed without the thing being gray, which is obviously going to make it look like a statue.
For sure. Yeah. I'm in love with those inks so far. I can't wait. And thankfully I wrote several more pages for you to draw and
That's amazing. Because I'm keeping pretty good pace this time around. It's not like we played again where I was like completely just behind. This I'm going pretty steady with it. Like I'll probably have 10 or 12 pages done before you can even start flatting. Like
it's gonna be
so busy with your stuff, and then you can flat. You know.
No, it's so great. So this week I wanted to get 3 more pages written. Totally did it. Like I think I wrote 4 this week again, and then I wanted to update one of the songs and like add stuff to it. Which, by the way, so I was totally like I'm gonna call it a fakes on my side because I recorded a bunch of stuff and it was like I was actually really happy with it. Like I added some guitar stuff to one of the songs and I was like, I really like the way this is coming together. It's sounding really good, and I stupidly didn't save it as a project folder. Like, oh my god, I was so mad at myself. So I didn't save it, and we've been remodeling the kitchen, so like we had to shut off the power, like the breakers, and I didn't realize, and like the breaker in my room was accidentally shut off, so it just killed my computer. And
they mortied your circuit. Did I just hear 2 distinctive clicks followed by a third corrective?
But dude, that's exactly what happened. It was just like the wrong breaker was flipped, and it just happened to be my room, and I just happened to not have saved that thing, so I was just like hating myself because, you know, like when I draw, I'm so used to constantly saving. When I write, I'm so used to doing Control S, like nobody's business. But when I was doing music, it just, for whatever reason, didn't occur to me to like continuously save my project that way. I was just stupid, and I'll never make that mistake again.
They need to, honestly though, like, come on, like if like Pokemon games can auto save every time you walk through a door threshold, why can't music programs auto save every time you stop recording? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, for sure, dude.
Any power off auto save function never works when you absolutely need it to. It never works. It says it, you know.
You always miss something. It's like 5 minutes of whatever it was, and then whatever it's in that 5-minute threshold, you're like, that was my whole heart. My whole heart was in there. I cried. It was, you know, I told my life story in that 5 minutes. But I did start recording it again, and I feel good about it because at least now I know like what the parts are that I'm going to be playing. So it's like now it's just re-recording it, which is like a little frustrating because I don't like redoing anything. Like it's
disheartening, especially with music, because there are moments with music. I mean, I guess it's with every art. You really do impose like your spirit on it sometimes, you know. And then when you impose so much of yourself onto it, like, and then that just disappears. You have to recreate what you felt like, and it just feels disingenuous, and like
it does.
It's frustrating, dude. I totally get it.
It's the whole like Audrey 2 Little Shop of Horrors of our lives as artists, right? Where it's like I will bleed for this thing over and over and over. Fine. But yeah, dude. So I was doing that before while I waited for you, Steven. While I waited for you to come and record, I was waiting. I was like, Steven, I have things, and it's not that I have other things to do. I have this. But then I have to edit this, and I'm like, Steven, I don't have so much time. Where are you? And you were like, I'm being a father, and I was like, unacceptable, Steven.
Unacceptable. Drop those droolas. Get rid of them.
How dare you, Steven?
You be Hook, they're Rufio. End this now. Like, just
they think they're like looky. I got hooky at the worst possible time to be cocky. Like where does that arrogance come from? Right before you die, like. Pride comes before the fall, Rufio. Like you should have spent less time in your hair and like silly one-liners and more time in your swordplay. What are you doing?
Especially with that kind of swordplay, you knew he was going to do the little repose
and just do the whooshy whoosh. Like,
I mean, they're whooshy swords. It's not like he had a claymore. You can do that if you have a claymore. If you're Aragon and like you have your claymore and you have his sword pinned down. Yeah, looky. I got hooky. He can't swing that big ass sword at you.
Right.
But homeboy's he's swinging a bouncy sword. You were dead, Rufio. You were dead when you said looky and you didn't even know it. Yeah. Anyways, yes, my kids were Rufio and doing calls and like, so they were put to bed like at 8, but they're still combating Tina at this very moment. So they have bunk beds. We spent actually, funny enough, when we recorded Atlas's lullaby song, Tina and I spent 4 hours building those bunk beds while Anthony was recording, which distracted the girls for the most part. They still interrupted him quite a few times, actually. So yeah, we got in these bunk beds, and I think they slept in the individual bunks for a week. So the situation in their room, yeah, go ahead.
It's just a bed with a roof at this point. It's
a canopy bed. We could have bought a canopy bed because literally what they do is they both sleep on the bottom. And I have to take all of their various throw blankets and put them around the frame of the bed so there's no light coming in.
Right.
But the bedroom light needs to be on. The door has to be shut, but the hallway light and the bathroom light have to be on. So no, it makes absolutely no sense because they can't see any of it. There's no light that they can possibly see because there's thick blankets over their bed.
Yeah. But
then they complain about it being hot, and I'm like, well, you're literally like, your blankets are designed to trap heat, and that's what they're doing. They're trapping the heat in this little.
You're insulating your room, children. What are you doing?
You live in Florida. Why are you doing this? But yeah. So yeah, but I've let the lights burn out in the hallway, and like Cammy's like, you got to change them. I'm like, no, I'm not changing them. That's burning like so much energy. Like it's stupid. Like I'm not doing it. Tonight they've been just coming in and out of these bunk beds, like fighting. Like Chase is coming out asking for water. It's just been a nightmare. But bunk beds. What are the point of bunk beds?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted bunk beds. I was like, because my brother and I shared a room, like my entire life. We shared a room, and which is like, normal state of affairs. Your kids, even though they have that other room, they choose to share a room. But like my brother and I was like a couple years older than him. I was like, I want my own room. I need my own space. Can we at least have bunk beds? And my parents were like, finally like, okay, let's get you some bunk beds. So I slept in the top, right? And I was just like, I'm gonna sleep up here. I'm on the top. I'm on top bunk. That's the cool place to be. So. It was like a wooden frame bunk bed that like my dad basically built it, and he created like a bar, just like a wooden beam to go across it, so I wouldn't just roll off of the bed and die, or just like roll off the bed and
and have a bad time going.
I mean,
it's gonna scare the crap out of you for sure. I mean, that's
sure, no matter what happens. Yeah, like no one's waking up like that was a fun trip. It's
absolute chaos for 0.5 seconds.
Oh yeah. So I was like. I don't even know how old I was. I'm trying to think. I was like 7-ish, when I was like a lanky kid, I was like tall and like gawky, but like I was on the top bunk, so I'm up there going to sleep. I'm sleeping, and in the middle of the night, I wake up with my body falling off of the bed. So I wake up as it's happening, and I feel my body fall, and I try to catch myself, and I can't. But what happens is my body slips beneath this wooden beam, and my head catches on the beam and can't quite fit because I have this big bulbous head and this tiny little body. So I'm like Craig the like Funko Pop like designer. Like that was just me. Like that's me as a kid. I was a bobblehead all day, but like my skinny toothpick body falls through this beam and my neck catches. So I'm just like my toes are barely touching the like top of my brother's mattress, just kind of keeping me up. I couldn't reach the wood, but I could reach his mattress. So I was just barely holding myself up by my toes and just kind of shaking and trying to make like gargling noises to get my brother up.
Gosh.
So it happened so fast that like my arms are down and I'm trying to like pick him up and like find a way to get up, and I'm too weak to pull myself up, and I can't get beneath the bar by I can't fit my head down. So I'm just like trapped. I'm just like stuck up by my neck, and I'm just like, So my brother finally wakes up. He's like, yeah, and he starts screaming. He doesn't know what's going on, and he's just like freaked out. So he just starts crying right away. My dad runs in the room, and he like, oh my gosh, and he like picks me up and throws me like through the thing again. The backwards.
Oh man, the utter terror. And
I can't imagine like now that my son is basically that age that I was when that happened. Like if that happened to my son, he would be like out of commission for a week. There's no chance he'd recover from that like quickly. Like,
I am never gonna mentally recover from this.
That's exactly what it would be. He's the best, but like he fell today a little, and it was just like the next hour was rough. I was just like,
life is pointless.
That's what it was. So but dude, so like I was for sure, I was like that had to be my first near death experience. I was like, I am dead. I am not gonna make it.
This adds to the list of like alternate Anthonys that have died. Like you have the lady that totally kidnapped you and killed you. Yep. Now you have the bunk bed death of, you know, 97.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it was, dude. Steven, you ever notice that Dumb and Dumber is clearly a Christmas movie? Steven, it takes
his name is Lloyd. Oh yeah.
His name is Lloyd Christmas.
Yeah.
It takes place during December. They even wear like Christmas sweaters in the movie. It's like the whole thing is Sean, the producer of Don't Make It Weird, pointed out that if Lloyd Christmas married Mary, if they got together, her name would be Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas. True that. And that was probably intentional.
Yeah, this is 100% a Christmas movie. And I don't know why I never realized it before.
People are spending all their energy trying to fight for Die Hard, and we all know Die Hard is, but like we
I heard clearly a Christmas movie. Steven, I read most of an article recently that someone wrote, because someone wrote on Twitter and they posted it, and I was like, I have time to read a few paragraphs. I'll read your article. Maybe it's fun. It's about Die Hard, and they were like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And they're like, no, it's not a Christmas movie. It just takes place during Christmas. I'm like, he literally writes, ho, 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 I have a machine gun. Like it takes place during Christmas. He references Christmas. There's a bunch of Christmas. There is no solid argument that it's not a Christmas movie. It is not a movie about Santa Claus. It's not a movie about the North Pole. It is a Christmas movie, though, just like most Shane Black movies.
But can't one say that all those hostages in that room were probably hoping Santa brought them death of terrorists? You know, I mean, like, and I mean, is not John McClane Santa in that situation, right? Slaying? I mean, he's I mean, he's not on a sleigh, but he's slaying. You know, I mean, like, it's there. It's there for sure. I'm not stretching that far.
Not at all. No, I do think that like I get why some people are like, oh, stop it, guys. But the truth is, like, it's a Christmas movie. It's not a Hallmark Christmas movie, but like, yeah, it's a movie that takes place around Christmas. It's a movie in which they reference Christmas. It's a movie in which there's like Christmas party happening. There's like ho 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 references. Like it's a Christmas movie. It's not.
And let's be real, Hans Gruber is more redeemable than Santa and Rudolph is. Like Santa and Rudolph was like, yo, Donner, fix your kid. Like he's weird. Like
there's
that was like
so much wrong with. Okay, there's so much wrong with Rudolph, dude. I haven't watched the stop motion animation one in a while, but like thinking about it, they were like, okay, reindeer are smart enough to, first of all, give each other names and have names. They're smart enough to call each other names. They're smart enough to play games, yet Santa's still, like, enslaving these reindeer. That's questionable in and of itself. Then you have the whole, like you were just saying, like, you have the whole, like, there's one that's different, arguably better. He is the X-Men of reindeer. Rudolph is simply like he belonged in Xavier's school for the gifted children. Like that's the truth of the matter. Like that movie should have ended. Like the post-credit sequence should have just been like Patrick Stewart coming in being like, I need to talk to you about your child, and like having Donner be like, is this a bad thing? Is it my fault? Is it my fault?
and he's like, I've heard that his nose is shiny. Shiny? Some even say it glows.
Yeah, Rudolph is just simply like the X-Men, but they're picking on him. They're ostracizing him. They are turning him into a villain. They are Magneto-ifying Rudolph in a way that's just unacceptable.
So you're saying that we need to write a horror comic where Rudolph's red nose actually shoots lasers and he just murders everybody that does him wrong?
It could be like rude off, you know, like he's not going to take any grief from these fools, these droolers. Like, can
we please have a pun for, I don't know if you remember, head on applied directly to the forehead.
Oh yeah,
like,
head on.
Can Rudolph blast someone and he can just be like, Rudolph applied directly to the chest cavity or something crazy lame like that, and just like have like, you know,
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Rain fear. But dude, I think it has to happen. Like Rudolph deserves revenge. Like, I mean, that's just it's the name of the game. That's what's gonna happen.
If Rudolph had even a little bit of Anakin's spirit, he would have Vadered the shit out of everybody. I mean,
gosh, yeah. And then he saves Christmas, and everyone's just like, yeah, I guess we like you now because you're glowing. And they're like, why didn't you recognize his butterfly wings before, baby? Like, what are you talking about? What was wrong?
Nothing's changed. I haven't changed. You've changed.
You've changed.
But you shouldn't have needed to. You should have already been ready for this. Like
I mean, he didn't even do anything wrong the whole time. Like the whole time, Rudolph's just like, I am what I am. Like it's a Popeye story. He's just like everyone else around me sucks, and now they're gonna suck a little less because they see my value. That's not a good story. Like when like the whole world has to bend to finally accept someone. It's like, come on, he doesn't even get a hero's journey. Maybe Rudolph needs to look like, maybe his nose doesn't glow, but he has to believe in himself. Like, he's gonna have, like, because like, what is that story other than like everyone hating him for the thing that eventually saves the day? That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Rudolph's main moral of the story is like, don't change who you are for anyone else. They'll eventually love you, but you shouldn't even be vying for that love anyway.
No, like, and it's not even real. It's not even real love. It's them recognizing utility. It's them saying we can use you because of your glowy face. If you didn't have the glow, no. If we didn't need you, it's not even if you didn't have the glowy face. It's like if the fog was a little thinner, we'd still hate your guts, Rudolph. Like
we only need you because of circumstances that don't normally happen. Good luck joining the.
You know what? Okay, you know what I'm thinking. Though. You know what I'm thinking.
Skies.
You know what I'm thinking, Steven? I think that Aurora Monroe Storm was at the North Pole making the mist happen so that people could see how powerful Rudolph was.
And then they were Xavier testing it. Obviously, exactly. X4, I mean, Bryan Singer obviously with X4 was going to go the Rudolph route. I mean, they set up with with the Phoenix dying. Cyclops was dead too. Like they needed someone else with something with red and glowing. They were obviously dude, we should just rewrite Rudolph with Cyclops. That's what we need.
You really could. So Marvel, if you're hiring, we are ready. We are ready to write this. Illustrate this very amazing simply having a wonderful Cyclopsian Rudolph time. Like it's gonna be fantastic.
Scott the single-eyed Cyclops.
It just writes itself, Steven.
Yeah, it does.
That's crazy. It's funny to think about like those Christmas movies and what makes a Christmas movie. Like Home Alone's a weird one too. I think Home Alone 2 is even more bizarre because it's like, first of all, Steven, he's not home. He's not home, Steven. He's not home in any of that movie. Like, he's not home.
He's lost alone.
He's lost, and he's not even alone. He's like hanging out with Tim Curry. There are other cameos. There's all kinds of stuff going on. He's in a hotel in which you cannot be alone. Like, I'd understand it if it was like he's in a hotel and everyone gets like kicked out of the hotel for some reason. They're like, oh, we have to bug bomb the place. He's like, now I have to survive this weird poison
like, on the streets of New York.
but he's like,
Evan. It's real.
Yes. But like he's not home. He's not alone. There's snow and it's Christmassy. Is it a Christmas movie? Is Home Alone 2 a Christmas movie? Like there's Christmas. When I see snow and there's like it's December. It's Christmas, I guess. I
do. Okay, before I say what I'm about to say, I do enjoy Home Alone 2 a lot. But Home Alone 1 is obviously the better of the two.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, because I mean, it's just brilliant. But Home Alone 2, for me, and I'm sure it was done prior to this movie, but I feel like Home Alone 2 was the true like Hollywood cut, copy, and paste that I can like relate to, where I understand like they needed a new scene, but they have a scene, they have the character, they make the pigeon lady very similar to the old man. It's like they create
it's a carbon copy for sure.
It really is with just different writing. That was like one of the early like examples for me. Some movies can do it. Like Home Alone 2, Ghostbusters 2, these movies still were able to find an audience. But then like I think of like Waiting was great. Still Waiting was horrible.
Dude, honestly, that happens a lot with comedy sequels. I don't think that comedy movies are supposed to have sequels most of the time. I think most of the time it's like there really is a lightning in a bottle with comedy, and it's just like when you try to capture that lightning again, you don't. So you end up with this weird empty jar that you're trying to show people. You're like, hey, remember the first one? You're like, there's nothing in that bottle, sir. You know?
See, it's got a mirror in it, and it's like kind of casting a reflection on the DVD case of the first one.
I feel that way about literally most comedy sequels. It's really hard for me to find comedy sequels that I enjoy. Like it's definitely hard to find ones that I enjoy as much as the first one, but it's just generally hard to find like good ones at all. You know, like,
even like I was really excited for, but even like Anchorman 2 was I don't want to use disappointing because it was still funny, but yeah, it was definitely like, yeah, you try to recreate it. It's not as good as Anchorman, not even close.
You know what I think? I think that the closest they come is when they find a group and they start throwing those particular Ernests into different situations where it's like John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell. Those are spiritual sequels,
Yeah.
like Step Brothers and Talladega Nights, and like those are spiritual sequels, but they're not sequels. They're different enough, and the characters are very similar, but they're different enough for us to be like, okay, I like this situation now, and it's not weird because it's not exactly the same. So it's Judd Apatow does similar things with like he takes the theme like he plays in the bathtub with his like Jonah Hills and Seth Rogen's, and he's just like blah, 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 and it works, and I'm like, I'll go and I'll see all those movies. I think it's because of that. I think it's like The Waiting and Home Alone 2, Ghostbusters 2, where it's like it starts to feel forced, where it's like they're only after the success of the first one and not the actual like intention of the first one. Because the first time they made the movie, they were just trying to make a fun movie. They were trying to like get something out. Hope everyone wants to be successful. Like we make comic books and like we're hoping it makes money, not why we're doing it. Like we didn't choose a semi-autobiographical time travel graphic novel musical because we were like moneymaker, baby. Like can't wait to get those bucks. We hope people buy it. We hope people like it, but we don't pander. Like we're not doing anything specifically for that purpose. If we do, if I ever make Play It Again 2, like Record Boogaloo or whatever, and it's like me, like ooh, and like we're gonna go back in time to us making the podcast and making the comic. Like that's how we're gonna get our money. We're like no, but like when people start to pander and they're like they're only or like their sole intention is to get the money, or like that's like the main part of that pie, it starts to feel dirty and gross, and you don't want to eat that pie anymore. So it's like I don't know, dude. Yeah, Home Alone 2. Well, Home Alone 2 only has like a 30-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's
really
it's something pretty bad. But I don't know, but there are a lot of good Christmas things, dude. There are like I'm excited to watch some Christmas stuff this year. I haven't really been getting in the spirit. I don't know how to. I feel like I have to force myself to get into the spirit this year because I'm not really feeling Christmassy, So like I got my tree out now, and I'm like,
it doesn't help when it's 85 degrees out. I mean,
it's so hot. I was in the child pickup line waiting to get Atlas, and I was just like, sometimes I'll show up a little early, and I'm like, I'll just hang out in my car and like tweet and stuff. Like no big deal. I don't care. I'm just hanging out at home anyway. It's it's fine. I'll sit and I'll get to him a little sooner. I'm waiting in the child pickup line and just burning, just melting. Like my whole back was soaking wet from like this. I had my air was like blasting on max AC, as cold as it could possibly be, and I'm still sweating in Florida, dude. So it's like I need the Christmas stuff, Steven. I need the movies. I need the music. I need the like whatever I can get.
We've been watching about 3 movies a week because like Tina actually works mostly days now, so we usually do have most evenings together.
Awesome.
So like we've watched Frosty, Rudolph, Charlie Brown, Grinch. Nice. Yeah, we've watched quite a few so far. So we're not too. But I feel you this year though. It is slightly. I'm like not fully in the Christmas spirit. But.
Yeah, dude, I'm not there yet, and like I'm trying to shake myself into it a little bit. So like I'm trying to watch more things with Atlas whenever I can. I'm trying to like. Just like listen to songs that I like Christmas songs that I enjoy. I've been like working on writing the Christmas song a little bit. Something else that Steven, I'm glad we're talking about this because Steve Urena has a project right now. Friend of the podcast, Steve Urena, who's been on a couple times, who we love and we want to support in everything he does because we just like him as a person and totally believe in him. And also, he writes really cool stuff. Dude,
he always writes like really fun, awesome, like cool concepts.
So Steve Urena has a Kickstarter active right now as of this podcast. You're going to see this right now and have the opportunity to go and check it out. It is called X-Maschina. So it's like X-Machina, but Xmas, so it's X-Maschina. And dude, it looks so cool. It's about It's about Santa saving Christmas from like a robot uprising, and it just looks awesome. I can't wait. He told us a little bit about it. You can read everything about it in the Kickstarter. Go check it out. I just backed it today or yesterday. Just like, dude, I'm super excited. But you can get books, you can get like shirts, you can get posters.
Yeah, I think I got the T-shirt one, and then I added on the MP3 and the postcard.
Ah, dude, it's so cool. I love when like my favorite thing is when our friends or like people that we want to support actually make cool stuff. And
yeah,
like
we can purchase it. And
like, I feel really thankful in that regard because we do have friends who make really cool stuff. like in general, like Jax is gonna be working on like horror Christmas newsletter where it's like she's gonna do reviews every day of like horror Christmas movies, which I love because like it's so much like those are so much fun. So like I just love this stuff. But everyone go check out the link below. It's X-Maschina. It's going to be amazing. Steve Urena is a really good guy, so go support him. We have to support good people, or else what else are we doing in our lives, Steven? What are we doing? Why are we not being supportive? Why are people not being supportive? Why do people like when I'm sad, Steven? That's been weighing on me. I shouldn't talk about it because we've been talking too long, Steven.
But people, you know what it is they like when you're sad because they like to hear me cheer you up.
That's probably true.
That's probably what it is.
Cheer up like best friend voice.
And what they probably do is they probably like just listen to me and like, you know, mute you. No, I'm just kidding.
That's probably what happens. I'm gonna, from now on, I'll edit out my sadness and just have Steven reply with like positivity and like the optimism and all the good stuff. But like Steven, every time I'm in a good mood, if I'm happy, if I'm like right now, Steven, I've been like somehow I stumbled into this situation. I don't know how I did it, Steven. I got drunk and I got real drunk. I did an AMA and I stumbled my way into dating apps and I started talking to someone and it was just like fun and like casual and interesting, and then like she's like, she's got her hooks. She's like you're gonna like me, and I'm like I kind of, yeah. What are we doing? What is this?
Just take these hooks out of me. Like I'm here. Like I'm not going anywhere.
No, but it's so interesting though, because I'm just like, I didn't expect this. I don't know what to do with this information. I don't know if I should talk about things because I feel that like people are just like, I'm gonna downvote you. Like I'm gonna give you my like Caesar down thumb like because in the Coliseum of the podcast, every time like I let that particular lion out, people are like, eat him, and like they hate it. Like they hate when I like am trying to date and stuff. But like the truth is, I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying hanging out with her. It's like she's really good company. She's fun. She likes things I like, and like our conversations have been a lot of fun. Everything's been going really well. And I don't feel any pressure about it. It's just been nice, you know, which is cool. It's been good. I don't feel, but I have been afraid to talk about it on the podcast because I'm like, as much as I won't pander for like the favorability of a particular audience, I will avoid the hell out of certain things just to be like, look, I don't want to deal with this drama, you know? Mm-hmm. So like it is just like it. But that being said, I won't negotiate with the thumbs down Caesars of the world. Like I can't do it, Steven. I can't like not. I have to like, all this podcast has been is us being us, and like I can't have things in my life that I can't talk about on the podcast. It's just not going to happen, you know? So like, I prefer.
Yeah, it's almost like we're tightening the parameters even more because we already set the parameters very early on that we didn't want to get too deep into anything that's, you know, divisive.
Yeah.
Divisive. But I don't know why I thought I was saying it wrong. But yeah, so like we already like kind of created that barrier.
Yeah.
And then for us to shrink the barrier even further is weird. Like, cause like, I mean, like,
and like, dude,
we've always been open about our issues. So why would we stop talking about issues that we're having?
Exactly.
You know, like,
yeah. So it's like, and I like that. I like that we set that boundary as far as like social stuff and political stuff, only because we've been inundated with it for several years now, and of course it's important, and there are other places to go to have those conversations. This is where we're talking about our personal problems and our personal issues in our comic book, and we're having fun in our friendship and all of this stuff, and it's just like there are some things that don't fit in that in the like in that realm, in that Coliseum, and there are some things that should be there that I'm like I feel weird not bringing up, and then when I have to circumvent certain life things, I'm like, I don't like that. I want to be completely open with everything I do, and like on the, just be able to talk about everything on the podcast. That's what it's been the whole time. I've always just spoken and been as authentic and just sincere as I can be while being, like this like weird noodle person, like but like I like it, and that's how I like to live, and I don't want to feel like I never want to get in my own way. I don't want to like start censoring myself, so it's just like, like I'm just gonna from now on let them downvote / like thumbs down all they want, and I will literally never bring it up again. So good luck to you.
This was the last time we brought it up.
Yeah.
So enjoy. Whoever is out there downvoting probably wouldn't even get this far anyway. But This is it, buddy.
This is it. Like, buddy, I'm sincere. Okay, I almost want to come up with like a punishment. Like if I talk about the dislikes, like down, like I almost want to like punish myself.
So somehow. It's like our own buffalo, basically.
Yeah, it's like our own buffalo. Like, how about this? I will improvise a song full of positivity every time.
There you go.
So I will
I like it.
improvise a fully positive song about something I don't love every time. So like, okay.
Awesome.
So anytime I talk about a downvote or a thumbs down, if I ever bring it up in the future, which I'd like to say it'll never happen, it probably will happen. Future Anthony's going to be like, stop it, because people are going to be haters, they're going to be trolls. People are going to see this, they're going to be like, I'm going to thumbs down them just to do it. We don't like you. I don't appreciate you. I don't really like that you do that at all. I'm just like sincerely tell you, I think that it's a stupid thing to do. I think you're wasting your time and our lives, and I can't believe. Thank you for subscribing to our podcast, though. What are you doing? Stop hating things. However, I will tell you that in the future, if I do bring it up, if I bring up the thumbs downs and like the trolls of the world, if I bring them up on the podcast, I will write a song about a movie that I don't like, and it will only be positive. It'll be a movie I just hate. And a movie I hate, and I will just sing as many good praises as I can think of, and with no negativity. It'll just be a thing that I do. So because I do want to.
It's an hour and 19 minutes long. These are facts, and they don't really have any positive or negative attachments to them.
But it's true, dude. I want to get that out of my head. I want to go back to feeling comfortable just being myself and like not caring about what people think, because that's I think that's like my sweet spot anyway, like I think that's when like our podcast is most fun. That's when I feel like the most fulfilled as a person. So screw them. That's like I'm done with it. And so
because that's why.
Yeah, exactly, dude. All right, Steven, so what are you gonna do next? What's coming up next week?
So I believe the next page in the comic is Douglas.
Why do people hate me, Steven? Why do people hate me? No, I'm kidding.
The next page in the comic, I think, is Douglas in the call center with his boss. So that doesn't sound like it's going to be too difficult of a page. So I'm going to say I'm going to get at least 2 pages done this week.
Right. I'm going to change the setting of that page. It takes place in the traffic, Steven.
So basically what's taking place is behind each panel is the first 3 pages fully detailed behind him. And no, you can't
none of this copy paste bullshit. Like no, you draw everything. No, dude. But yeah, I think those pages should be pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm hoping.
Well, like I'm just gonna try to use like a SketchUp situation for the call center, and then like draw the characters and stuff, and like I don't think it should be too bad. So
awesome. I'm going to write 3 pages, and I'm going to definitely finish that song that I started working on. I think I can finish it totally. I'd like to finish that and start another one. So I'm going to go 3 pages, finish a song, and work on another one. That's my plan. So
amazing.
I think we're going to do it. I love talking to you, Steven. I love doing this. We're getting this book done. This is so good. I hope everyone's like enjoying the pages that we've been showing so far, because I think they're amazing. Like I'm at like sincere.
Do I keep showing everyone, or do you think I should?
Okay, everyone, let us know. Let us know what you think. Do you want to keep seeing everyone? Do you feel like there are spoilers involved? Obviously, there are spoilers involved, but it's also just issue 1 of a thing. But you can still spoil in issue 1, So it's like, so let us know. Maybe we'll just go panels. Maybe we'll show like, I'll like specify, like zoom in on certain panels, like without any big spoilers. We'll just be like, look how cool this looks, with just like individual panels, so we don't give away the entirety of a page. Maybe.
Maybe,
but everyone, if you're watching, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think of the work. Let us know what you think of our Christmas thoughts and our Dumb and Dumber and everything that we've said so far. But we love you. We thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast, please just go to youtube.com/wehaveissuespodcast and subscribe. We're also available on Google Podcasts and iTunes and all of the podcast places, and on Spotify. You can find us anywhere. Please let everyone know that we exist. Like, tell your friends, tell your grandparents, tell your ostriches. If you have ostriches and you have not sent us pictures of them, what are you doing? I love you. If you don't know this, like, we love you, and we would love to hear from you. So if you have any drawings, if you want to draw Steven, send it to us. We'll put it on the podcast.
Yes. Oh, fan mail. I would love fan mail.
Yeah. If you have questions for us, write us. Like, just like, you can email us at wehaveissuespod@gmail.com, or you can contact me on Twitter at twitter.com/Anthony Lafusi or twitter.com/wehaveissuespod. What do you have to show us, Steven?
So speaking of fan mail, but Cheryl sent me a Christmas card because she had my address, because I sent her she won one of the comic prizes, but you're included in this too. So to Stevie Wildcard, Anthony Lafusi and family, happy, merry everything. Thank you for the wonderful signed comic book. I am enjoying reading the comic on my Kindle app. I really love watching your podcast on YouTube. I do not know when or even if I will be back on Twitter. Have a wonderful holiday. You all are the greatest. Say hello to the people on Don't Make It Weird. Love, Cheryl.
That's the
so
sweetest
sweet.
thing in the world.
Sweetest thing in the world.
I'm so glad you just thought of that. I can't believe that exists.
I was gonna bring it up, and like that reminded me.
Dude, that's so.
Like that reminded me that because it was like in my. I need to start making physical notes because I do think of things I wanted to talk about, but then I just forget to type it out. But I need to start doing that because I wanted to talk about that, and I was like,
for sure, dude. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting everything that we're doing. I really hope you all check out Play It Again. I'll put the links below so you can read our book. Physical copies are going to be available very soon. They're going to be shipped to us, and Steven has all the packaging stuff, so we're ready to send it out. Hopefully in time for Christmas. Maybe we're gonna have like a very simply having a wonderful New Year time. Like like everyone celebrates New Year's with new comics, right? Like, come on, you no, but thank you all for being here. We love you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you. I'm Anthony,
and I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And this has been episode 67 of We Have Issues. See you next time. Thank you.
I'm on it, baby. Oh, the sound. The sound. It's the sound that makes me want to punch infants. Bam! Ha! Hit! I think the link sound was good. Was the link sound good?
That was good.